Hey there, thanks for stopping by. I'm life coach Mark Hollenstein, founder of the Gay Men's Spirituality and Leadership Institute, as well as a coaching workshop called Camp Keep Moving Forward. When I was 33, I had a complete clinical nervous breakdown. Now, what does that mean? For me, it meant that out of nowhere, I fell into a complete sobbing, crying fit that lasted 5 solid hours. 5 hours I was crying with no ability to shut it off or stop it. 5 hours. As you can imagine, that was a really challenging and dark time for me, but more than that, this was a real problem because at the time I had a wife of 12 years and 3 kids, ages 12, 11, and 9. They were used to me being the father and the husband who was strong enough and wise enough to come up with a solution to any problem or any challenge our family faced. And here it looked like I was not going to be able to pull myself out of this debilitating slump or crisis or meltdown that I had fallen into. And the plot thickens. Just 18 months prior to this event that I'm describing, I had moved a team of 17 people from Santa Cruz, California to Santa Rosa, California to start a church from the ground up. Yep, my wife and I were fundamental Christian pastors. So now you can see there were a lot of people in addition to my very frail family who were dependent on me. That was a lot of pressure, and I know now that it contributed to my breaking point. I'm going to share with you just a little bit about how the breakdown actually occurred because it's kind of important to what I've learned from that experience, and it may be helpful for some of you that are listening to this message who have ever felt stuck or shut down or shut out or shut off. So here's how it went down. One night, after a very long week and a very long day, first of spending 8 hours at Macy's working my full-time job to support my family as I'm starting the church, then I come home, do the dinner thing, do the homework thing, do the bath thing, put the kids to bed thing. Then I go to my office and study for 4 hours, prepare for my Sunday sermon, and work on structuring the church to build a congregation. So at the end of a very long day, I put myself to bed. My wife is asleep next to me. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm in a sound sleep, and bam, I wake up. Out of a sound sleep, wide awake as if I had been awake for several hours. I'm lying on my stomach, my wife is next to me, and I've got my head on my pillow, and I'm looking at the window that's parallel with our bed. And this particular night, it was a full moon, and the moonbeam was hitting the window in such a way that it was fully illuminated, looking like a television screen. And on the television screen, I see this picture. It's an image that I had in my mind. It's not like a suppressed memory. I had thought about this in the past, and it's me sitting on the floor cross-legged as a 9-year-old in the bathroom at my parents' house in the home where I grew up. And in the bathroom, I'm sitting cross-legged looking at the back of my uncle. Now, he wasn't really our uncle. He was very close friends of the family, in so much that we called him uncle. And as I'm lying in my bed, I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing in the bathroom with my uncle? And I had never asked that question before. And at the moment I asked the question while I'm lying in my bed, it's as if I stuck my finger out, hit the pause button on the video, it unpaused, and the scenario plays out in front of my eyes while I'm in my bed. I'm going to spare you the gory details, but my uncle turns around fully erect and sexually abuses me. At the moment that I'm lying in my bed and I'm seeing this played out on the screen, I'm reliving every part of it. I can hear all the sounds of the open window of the bathroom with the kids, my brothers and sisters and friends, splashing at the pool party downstairs in our backyard. I can smell the chlorine on my flesh, and I can feel the dampness of my swimsuit up against my body, all while I'm lying in my bed watching this happen on the screen. And as I'm watching it, I break into this uncontrollable, very loud sobbing in just pure anguish and pain. And I wake my wife up, completely startled her. She's begging me, Mark, what's wrong? Please stop. You're scaring me. You're going to wake the kids up. You're going to scare them. So she gets me out of bed. She takes me downstairs. I fall on the floor into the fetal position, and I continue to cry. My wife gets on the phone, calls our best friend, who happens to be married to my assistant pastor. She's a clinical psychologist. She comes over and she sits with me for 5 hours as I sob and sob and sob. right at the point where she's going to pick up the phone, call the ambulance to take me to the psychiatric hospital, I stop. I just completely stop. It's as if this reservoir, this dam that let out the flood, completely drained dry. I went to bed and I stayed there for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. I had to go on a sabbatical from the church. I had to stop going to work. I had no strength to talk, to eat. I could barely spill myself off the mattress to get myself to the bathroom. And then after 4 weeks, all of a sudden, a little bit of strength started to return, and I decided I need some professional help. So remember, I'm a fundamental Christian pastor. My wife and I find a fundamental Christian therapist, and I go. And I realized if I'm going to get through this really debilitating time, I got to put all my cards on the table, especially since we're dealing with a sexual issue. So I tell the therapist, in addition to the situation that I'm remembering, I'm gay. I'm attracted to men, and I'm in a heterosexual marriage, and I'm a fundamental Christian pastor. And he looks me in the eyes. Now remember, he's a fundamental Christian pastor because that's the only kind I would go to. Looks me in the eyes and he says, Mark, you're gay. God made you that way and it's okay. I stand up. I say to him in my most self-righteous voice, that is heresy. Excuse me. You can't talk to me that way. I'm leaving and never coming back. Slammed the door, ran to my car, sat in the car and thought to myself, oh my God, I can't wait to get back next week. For the first time, I heard a Christian say to me what I knew was true, but I never thought I would hear. So let's fast forward a little bit because I only got a very short time on this video. My wife and I go into therapy together. We decide, you know what? We've done the Christian thing long enough. We have played the game. We've had demons cast out of me. We have prayed as hard as we possibly can. We've read the Bible frontwards, backwards, and in between as much as we possibly can. We have prayed until our knees are bloody. If anyone was going to get a miracle based on the criteria that the church taught us, we had to go through to get the miracle, we deserved it. It wasn't coming. So we decided to dissolve our marriage, keep our friendship, and continue to co-parent our kids. That was 20 years ago. And at the time, a lot of people began to say to me, Mark, you were so courageous. How did you find the courage to do that? Well, I didn't feel courageous at all. In fact, I felt out of control. But as I look back now, it was incredibly courageous of me to be honest with myself, be honest with my congregation, be honest with my friends, be honest with my family, and risk it all. You know what? Most of the church abandoned us. Most of my friends abandoned us. I was left alone to rebuild my life. Now, there is a happy ending to this story, believe it or not. That meltdown, that nervous breakdown outside of my 3 kids and the friendship I retained with my wife was the biggest gift that ever happened to me because it caused me to be honest with myself. It caused me to step back into alignment with my authentic, true self. And it taught me several things that I'm going to share with you because perhaps some of you that are listening have somehow felt stuck or shut down or shut out or shut off like I did, right? Well, there's hope. Here's what I learned. 1, you can always trust your knowing. Always. Call it what you want. Intuition, instinct, that gut feeling. You can trust it. We're taught not to trust it, but you can reconnect to it and you can trust it. Like for me, I knew that I was gay when I was 3 years old. Before I even knew I was a sexual being, I knew I was attracted to men. Before I knew there was a word for it, before I knew people would despise me and shame me because of it, I knew. And I knew it wasn't a choice. We can always trust our knowing. Second thing, we can trust our body. Our body is our partner and it has this innate, infinite intelligence. And from that, it has this incredible ability to keep itself in balance and heal itself. That dumping, that floodgate that opened was my body's way of saying, okay, can't hold it anymore. If you're going to get on with your life, we got to get rid of it. Our body is our partner and it's got infinite wisdom to help us be whole, balanced, and in alignment with our authentic selves. Your body is your partner. Other thing is we're stronger than we think. No matter what, we're always stronger than we think. The human spirit has this amazing capacity to rally itself. Sure, we need some help and some support along the way, but you're always stronger than you think. Fourth, we adapt ways of being because they serve us at some point in our life. What do I mean by that? Well, again, for me, people ask me, Mark, if you knew you were gay, why did you get married? That's a no-brainer because I believed other people's truth. I forfeited mine for other people's because I didn't want to live under shame or guilt or harassment. So I adapted a way of being straight. I adapted a way of being religious. I adapted a way of being the perfect Christian because it served me. It kept away the ridicule until it no longer served me. In my case, my body said I can't hold it anymore, and my mask came tumbling down. I had to step into my authentic self. We adapt ways of being at times in our life because it serves us, and there's no reason to judge that. We do what we do to survive. We find ways to cope until it no longer serves us. And finally, most of life is lived right here between our ears, in our head and in our thoughts. And those can be changed. Thoughts can be changed. Just because I think it doesn't make it true, or just because I think it makes it true. If I believe it, I create my life as if it's true, and I live with all the ramifications of that. Thoughts and perspectives can be changed. So that's what I learned from my meltdown. That's what I learned on my journey to the other side of fear. And now I live a life of abundance, full of joy, full of healthy relationships with nothing to hide, nothing to be ashamed of, and completely at peace with myself. That's what I wish for you. In any event, I wish you all the best with your life, and if I can be of service, you can find my web address somewhere on my profile on this screen. But if I don't see you again, thanks for taking the time to stop by, and if I can leave you with anything, remember this: no matter what, you're always stronger than you think, so just keep moving forward. Thanks. See you again soon.